This video is for beginners, like absolute 100% beginner of all beginners about using Notion. I have been using Notion all of 3 days. I said 2. 3 days, not very long. And I thought, wow, it would be really, really stupid of me to do a tutorial when I don't know what I'm doing. But guess what? I do things when I'm not ready. I think it's a good quality and a bad quality, but there you go. I'm going to talk about why I use Notion, what even made me get started on Notion, and then we're going to get into how I use Notion 3 freaking days in. As always, I have notes so I stay on track and do not waste your valuable time here. I love Notion. It's most likely better than your current system. If you were using lists like I was using a paper list. I was actually using a digital list that mimicked a paper, but that's neither here nor there. It just wasn't working for me, and the system is now a better system. Before I get started, who the heck am I? I am Sarah. I am a paid search freelancer, and I am building what I would call a feel-good business. I will probably make a video at a later point about what a feel-good business is, since I just learned that that is what I'm building. And I do paid search to pay the bills, but the rest of what I do is going to be teaching and tutorials and transparency and showing you what it's like behind the scenes of building out the ultimate business that I envision for the future. Now, you probably already know this if you clicked on this video, but if you don't know this, a little bit about what is Notion. So Notion is a productivity app. It's so intimidating, complete blank canvas when you log in, but the fact that it is so intimidating is why it's good, because it's actually incredibly flexible. You can do so much with it. You can plan your entire life, and the ultimate goal for this tool is to become your second brain. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the book for you, your second brain. Why did I start using Notion? My current system of building a list, it just wasn't flexible. I loved it and I still love it, and there is a component of it that I plan to maintain, but it just has no flexibility. For example, I could not look at the week and measure the impact of a date change, and this was really problematic at my agency job because I had nothing to back up. Essentially, here's everything that I'm doing, and when this gets changed or this doesn't go live, this is the impact. I had nothing to be able to make that case and essentially have people help me in this process. I also wasn't using any type of priority labels. My brain was the priority labeling tool where I knew what was important, but the reality is that not everything can be important. So I was using no labeling, no hierarchy. I was just doing things as they came in and doing them as fast as I could, and it was problematic at best. The other thing is I also love saving tasks, because there's that feeling when you look back on the week and you're like, what did I do? I know I did something. And so being able to save what you did, it's that self-satisfaction of, okay, it's not as bad as I think. These are the things I got done. And then you can reflect on whether or not those were the right things. It's all about moving your productivity and your life into a better place. That was very cumbersome with the list making, because essentially what I was doing is making a fresh sheet and then saving my old one so I didn't feel as bad, and just envision the stack of papers like a complete hoarder. It was not good. And then ultimately with Notion, the reason I started going in that direction, aside from the aesthetics and all the beautiful YouTube videos out there and everything, I feel like Notion can complement my current system. I can obviously still write because there's something about that muscle-mind connection to writing that I like. But on the other hand, I'm going to be able to have something where I can do all the things I outlined. I'm going to start this tutorial and I'm going to show you how I used it 3 days in and how you can use this tool as well. Again, complete beginner, total beginner. Whatever I say in this tutorial, there are many ways that this can be done in Notion, but what I'm showing you, the tool is really, really flexible. I'm looking at this as fun, but I've also chosen to learn the tool from scratch rather than to buy templates or to download templates that other creators have made, because I want to eventually make my own. And also, I don't know if I said this at the beginning when I did the intro, but Notion is totally free unless for some reason you're using Teams. It's so beautiful. It's such a great tool. I totally have a vision for this in the future of being able to set up paid search related templates and templates for marketing people who are working on projects so that they can streamline a lot of the workflow that goes into their jobs. I'm going to show you it's just how I set up my week and how I took a paper to-do list, or in my case, I was using a digital planning to-do list, and then I made it into something a little bit better, something that works for me. And then I'll show you a little bit of how I decorate the page and how I make it cute and just do all those fun things to make this tool exactly what I want it to be. So exciting. Let's make me a little bit bigger so you can see my friendly face over here. I'll just move myself to the side. All right. So if you look right here on the side, so this is essentially what I have already created. So you're looking at my personal homepage. So this is what I did this past week. I didn't get a couple things done. I will move that until next week. And then I already set up my next week. And then I set up a blank template for 2 weeks from now. Now, I kept making these because I was doing the tutorials and then I would film it and then I would mess it up. And well, it was bad. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and make just a fresh weekly template. Maybe I'll call it 3 weeks from now. And so you see how I make my template. And again, this is when I say a beginning video, beginning of all beginning. So here we go. So the first thing you want to click on is new page. So create a new page. And also, I know I said it like a couple times, but this is something where this is not what I'm showing you the ultimate way you're going to want to do this, but this is great for a beginner just getting started. So first thing you do is you name the page. And like I said, I'm going to name this 3 weeks or 3 weeks in the future to, let's just call it, from now. That's a long name. How about 3 weeks in the future? And who knows, by the time I get 3 weeks in the future, I may have a different system for how I set this up, but again, beginning tutorial. So 3 weeks in the future. So this will be an empty page. So once you have an empty page, what the beautiful part is, you could do whatever you want with it. And if you don't know what to do, just hit backsplash and then you can literally pick what you want on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this because I like to look at it in a full page view. So we close out of that and see right here, this is where it's taken it. So there's my page. So we're going to pull it right up here. I'm going to put it under. So we have my home page. And then, like I said, this one I created. I actually recorded a tutorial when I did this one. And then the recording didn't work. And so I did another one. And this is my 3rd time recording this. So should be pretty good at it by now. So we're left here with a blank page, right? And we want to make it look like this so we can put our to-do list. And for me, this has been absolutely wonderful. So what I will do is I will start out on this empty page. And the first thing that I do, scoot this over a little bit so you can see it. I will come up here and I will say full width. I always see everyone on YouTube doing this. I like that as well. I like the full width because you can see everything. And then what I do, and what I just kind of alluded to, is I start with that backslash, right? So when you come in here, so let's look at this, you're going to, on your empty page, start with your backslash. So backslash. So what do I want to put here? So I want to start a to-do list. I'm going to put right here just a text right here that says that, and I'm just going to call it weekly tasks, right? So I want to list out all my weekly tasks. And then the next thing I want to do Monday. And then I want to do a checkbox. So again, what I said, slash, and then we're going to add a to-do list. So we're going to to-do list 1. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. We're going to do to-do list. And we're going to do right? So we're just going to set up this template. And so then what's really cool is I can just go like this, and I can actually just take this and I can copy. And then I can come down here And I want a max, so Command V. And then I can come down here. And then Command V. So I want to do it 3 days. Just select all of those at once. And I can copy those. And I can come back here. Command V. And then we just do more days. So 6 days, 7 days, and a week. So copy. And again, come back here. Control V. And then we're going to go through and change days. So I like my weeks personally to start on a Sunday because that is the day that I know that I do planning on Sunday. So Sunday. I'll do cleaning on Sunday. So cleaning. My daughter has Mariana gymnastics. And then my other task that I know that I like to do is plan for a week ahead. This type of stuff. And so then coming down here, and I could have done this at the beginning too. So Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday. And then, like I said, I could have done some of this, not this part. Today. I could have done some coloring I'll do next Thursday, and then Friday, and then Saturday. And then some other things I know. So I know, because I already called them like 10 times today, I'm going to call the ESC again. And I made email. Just email start. I also know it's Sunday. I need to make sure I take print out for plugin fundraiser to gymnastics. So I just literally mind everything I know I have to do. Actually, that's for next week. We'll just print. Like I know everything. I'm doing 3 seconds. So now that we've done this, let's go ahead and color this. So we're going to go ahead right here. And if you look, I can do this color, and then I keep making them blue, so let's just make them gray this time, because like I said, I've been making them blue in every other tutorial, and it's 3rd time's a charm. So and what I'm doing right here is I'm changing the background color. I'm not changing the color, but if you want to, you can change the color of the text. So I'm just changing the background color here. I'm sorry, I keep highlighting it. I don't want to highlight it. I just have to click on the dots right here. So color, gray, color, right. And you can make each day for color, you can do whatever you feel like. That is the beauty of this platform. All right, so great. So now we have all these are great. I think it looks amazing, and I'm going to move my little bubble over here. Make myself a little bit smaller down here. Just so you know, I'm using Loom for this. I was using Wave Video, and I love Loom. I am debating asking for a refund from Wave Video because Loom is so good. Okay, so now that we have this sort of lined up like this, I want that calendar over on the side because I really, really liked that. So how do we do that? So if you come in here, and I want to say I have to hit and enter, and then I have to choose the dots, and then this is interesting. It's all the way, I want to say, how did I slash? And it's all the way down here. So what I do is if you look right here, so 2 columns, because I want that to the side. So see how I just made that 2 columns? And what you can do is if you go like this, so pretend like you're hovering, see how it adds another one right there, so you know that that's where your column starts. So right here, I want to add my calendar. So I want to add a view of my calendar. So I can actually take the calendar over to the side here, and I believe, yep, I can just plop it right there like that. And see how that is now right there? And then what it did was it took everything over here and it pushed it down. But I can highlight everything, I want to say, and I believe this is how it works. And I think I can move it up here, but if I can't, what I'm going to have to do, there we go. All right. And then this right here, I can make this bigger. I can make that bigger. And there we go. So now we have our calendar. And so then what I like to do is I like to go through and kind of like, what I had said is I like decorating this. I like making this look good. Make that smaller, make that gap bigger. So what you could do is you could add some of these things. So I like to add a cover. It defaults to this. I tend to, and it's because I do planning to calm myself, to have a calm mind. And so I like calm. So I like either this pink, I like something like that, or I like this gradient, but you can also pick something like this. The one that I just showed you, it was the blue, the Met Museum. I like some of these little, like, I call them these like more washed out ones right here. I think I did one with this header, but I mean, the world is your oyster as far as this gallery. Let's see what that one looks like. Don't love that one, a little creepy. If I wanted, yeah, no, I can already tell this will be a no.
So change color. You can get unsplash. Like I always like something kind of just very calming. What's this right here? Oh, I kind of like that with like the texture right there. I can reposition it. Let's see what this is. Oh, it looks like it's just like a copy of an Echo. I like the colors though. I'm gonna change that. I'm not quite feeling just the Echo in the middle. So change cover, unsplash. Let's see. Oh, that window one is really pretty. Look at that right there. I like that. So I'm gonna reposition that a little bit. That is kind of nice. Oh, look at that with the books. Okay, I love it. I love it. And then I can add an icon to the page, and the icon will show up along the sidebar here, which is really cool. So if I add an icon, what do we want this to be? I like using the calendar or the heart. Let's use a solid heart this time. I usually choose something, like just gray that kind of complements up there. And then you can add like different icons to almost everything. It's really cool. Drag to move stuff. I can add different icons right here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you saw like on the other one that I had a link and some navigation. You can add things like that. So if we come down here, say navigation, and then I can make this bigger or smaller. So like this, and then here I'm gonna move my bubble a little bit. Might be bigger so I can look down over here. So right here, let's see, I want to make a color for that. Let's do that. Let's do that brown. I'm not usually a brown fan, but I feel like that brown has almost like a pinkish tinge. And then you can turn it into, so I can make it bigger. So like a heading 2. So see how that's a little bit bigger. And then I can add links to pages. So again, if you go like this, so I can link to a sub page. And then for the sub page, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I'll show you. I don't know if I did this. If I already showed you where the undo button is. The undo button is back here, undo. So we're gonna undo that. So I'm gonna go back to 3 weeks in the future. Come down here. I don't want to link to an unentitled page. Oops. See, and this is why I'm new to this. So let's see if I can delete that, which I can. So let's just delete that. Let's backslash link to page, and then link to an existing page. And then, yeah, there we go. So maybe I want to link to my personal homepage. Maybe I want to, what else do I want to link to? Put parse to that, link to my notebook, maybe. So I'll link to a page. And then I'm going to say my notebook and see how it will bring it up. So that's my personal notebook. See, I mean, this is really, really cool. And then I think I could show you something else. I can actually add like an image or something right here. So see right there, I can do add, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Right here, so you backslash, and then you can add an image. And this is where, like, I think people will sometimes have different Pinterest boards, but like, I always like these jiffies, and I like to do like a notebook. And then you can have like a little moving thing. I think I used the penguin in one. I used a little like notepad in another. What do we have here? That's kind of cool. Or something like that. What about notepad? Oops, can't spell. Notepad, I reused that one. What about, oh, that's I kind of like this. What's this notebook paper one right here? I don't know if that moves though. And when you put it, oh, look at that with a little wave. See how big it is? You can actually size it and make a little icon. So I like it big enough that I can see the movement of it, but not too big that it's distracting. And then I always like to change the font. And while I like this font, I like sort of a more casual font. So if you come up here, you can actually change these. So you could do it like this, which I think that's kind of nice, but I always like this one. I just feel like that's such a like little, I don't know, I always like that. You could change, you know, background color of things. So if I'm right here, for example, I will show you that. So these add comments are if you're sharing these pages. So you can go to page, I believe it is customize page. And then right there, you can take off these. So off to turn off that. And then I just put minimal behind that. So yeah, I mean, this is very, very cool. And if you look here, so everything, and this is where I think the tool is really powerful. So everything is a database. So you can add events to your calendar and populate through there. So there's just so much that you can do with this. And like I said, what I did right here is just a very basic to-do list. And I'll put in sort of a pop-up. I'll put what my to-do lists look like before this, and then what we can do is we can look at how much better this is for me personally than what I had. And right now I'm just actually playing with the little buttons. Oh yeah, switch photo. No, I'm just playing with buttons on here, so it looks like I could talk and just put one of my pictures in there. I'm playing with this if you want to know the truth. Just because it's the first time I've actually used Loom for anything. But yeah, so in any case, this is my Notion tour. I've filmed this 3 times now. It's very, very, very basic, but the flexibility with this tool is huge. And if you've watched any YouTube videos, you can tell that people plan their entire lives with this thing. And I want to get to something really, really fancy and cool, but I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm teaching myself how to use it, and it's just part of the growth that I plan to do with myself and my business and in general. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was useful as always. Definitely envisioning some paid search sort of, processes and different workflows that I could go ahead and add to here. And then maybe those will be things that I will templatize. I can't even say it. I will make these templates and I will share them with the world and other freelance templates and different things like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and get in there and try Notion.